Hey there. So before we actually begin the EQing process, what I like to do is, with a properly gain stage mix and all of my volumes at unity, I'll now begin to rough in my mix by just controlling the volume levels themselves. Those volume levels are going to be done here at the fader. You'll see a lot of these are still at unity gain. However, I've begun the process of volume balancing simply by adjusting these faders. Now, this is where I do like to use a hardware controller of some sort. In this case, in front of me here, I've got a push. I've got two Avid Artist Mix Series. Many of these you'll find comes in banks of 8. And that's exactly what you see here in the red box here. That's the push highlighting those are the 8 channels that I'm looking for. And I can begin to then kind of move those around. You can see the red box moving around here up on my screen, and I can move those around in banks according to what I'm seeing on my push. I'll be showing you the push and the Artist Mix Series in some upcoming videos. Right now, I want you to focus on the session itself here and simply look at the faders. I like to look at it in my edit window because I like to see the audio itself, and it kind of gives me a sense of what's happening or what's coming up on the tracks when I look at the audio. This is really a matter of comfort. You can do this from the mix window or the edit window. Either way, however you like it. I mean, this is considered, well, this is the session view. This is the arrange view here. I like to use the markers here in my arrange view to skip around and work in different sections. It's great to be able to kind of drop in, so I can actually, go right to that part of the mix quickly and easily. So this is a nice fun way to cruise around your mix. But what I'll do really in the beginning process of this is simply rough through using my ears to guide me here and just get a rough volume balance going of what I feel is going to sound good in this mix. So that can be anywhere from the individual tracks right to the groups themselves. So let's just play around with that for a minute. Let's see what's going on here. So if I want a little bit more of that C3 bass, yeah, make that pump a little bit. Sounds like those transitions are a little hot right now. Let's take a look at what that might have been. This guy right down here looked like he was a little hot. Maybe bring that down just a hair. There's that tonal percussion, too loud. I'm going to drop it back a little bit. Oh, and all those stereo plucks are a lot of fun here. Little Atmos Vox there might be a little loud. Just going to bring it back a little bit. It's fun because there's so much ear candy in this mix here. Maybe I want my kick up just a hair. Drop that up at unity gain maybe. And as I'm doing this, I can also be looking at the panning as well. For example, that open hat and these closed hats over here, maybe the shaker, kind of all of these, what I would call the main high-end components of the drums here, and I could even subgroup those. Sometimes it's fun to be able to just subgroup those. Let's see what this answer pluck is over here, actually. Yeah, I don't know that that should actually be in the drums here. That's a little mistake. Let's pull that out of the drums. Let's bring that up here to the plucks. Nice to keep those guys together. I'm going to pull them out of there. And yeah, there's a pluck. I'm going to keep those plucks together here. There we go. That makes a little more sense. And then if I want to group those in a way that's visually pleasing to me as well, I could take those plucks right here, because I've got 4 sets of plucks right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'll subgroup those in there. We'll call that the pluck group. And then I might want to just color those all the same here. I'm going to assign the tracks the same color. There we go. And now I've got all my plucks together, so I can go back to my drum kit here and then kind of focus in on what I was trying to do there, which was grab all the high-end stuff. These guys right here. There's all my high-end elements. Aside from the crash, I'm going to leave that one outside for a second. These are the more percussive elements right here. So I'm going to do a subgroup of those guys. We'll call that, we can call that metal drums, metal being, you know, cymbals, etc. That's another way to call it. Of course, that would be a fine way to do it too, cymbals. And now I can group those together in a convenient way. Oh, that Pluck still got himself solo, doesn't he? Ha ha ha. Yes, he does. There it is. We're going to get rid of that guy in there. Okay, there we go. And now, the reason I wanted to do that was to show you how we kind of, as we do this, we can be doing a little bit of balancing of the panning in the stereo image. Because that's going to affect the volume of the mix. Remember, it's going to take an element, push it to the left, and so then that left side is going to be a little hotter as a result of that. So it's something we want to keep in mind as we begin to volume balance this mix here. Let's go back here, take a listen. So we've got this close hi-hat a little bit on the left. We've got, let's see, with the 16th hi-hat over here, a little bit more to the right, little shaker bit to the right. So I'm going to balance that out with the other one over here to the left. It's fun to get a little balance going on these things. And now I can subjectively start to look at how the volumes of each could apply. There we go. Bring that shaker up just a little bit. Yeah, and again, you know, this can be very subjective to, you know, personal taste, how you want your drums to sound, and there's not a way it has to be, other than making sure that it's balanced and pleasing to listen to for your listener, and that's the key here, and it's giving it the energy that you want to get out of it. And now, if I feel, by having the subgroup, by the way, in here with my cymbals, I can pull them out, hear them against the drums, decide if they're too loud or soft altogether against the drums, maybe balance them down a little bit as a group. That's the advantage here, of course. And then I can ultimately process that entire group. Now, let's take a look at that to begin with. Cymbals are a lot of fun to begin the EQing process here around the drums. Once I've got a balance that I'm liking, and again, this is looking pretty good. Let's look at the master fader. Let's make sure our VU meters are in a good place. Yep. That's pretty well gain optimized. And we'll see that we've got plenty of headroom here with our integrated loudness at neg 22. That's got a lot, that's given me plenty of confidence that I've got room to build this mix on. I've got a lot to go to. Remember, my final master, ultimately for streaming, what we're going to be targeting here is -14. So that's giving me a nice chunk of room there to work with to build this mix out.